Hi friends, welcome back to Sheena's Homestead. If you're new here, I'm Sheena and this is my homestead. Today we have an overabundance of apples. That's right, it's apple harvesting season. And I am gonna make something special for you. I'm gonna make apple pie filling. We're gonna make so much that we put it in jars and keep it for year round. So come inside with me and I'll show you how. Let's go. Oh, well, here we go. Today is the apples' turn to get harvested. We are doing the best we can to preserve all of the food that we put such hard work into all spring and summer long. So today we are going to make apple pie filling. We're going to can it, jar it so that we can use it later. So first things first, I did chop up quite a few apples before we began this process because I didn't want you to sit here and watch me cutting up this amount of apples. But first things first, I did turn on the stove. We have our canner boiling up so that I can get all of our jars sterile and ready for this process. Today we will be filling 7 quart-sized jars. I am going to be doing this in a 2-part process. First, after my jars are at the boiling point and they are completely sterile, I'm going to pull them out. I'm going to fill all of them with as many apples as I can, and then we are going to make the apple filling separately and dump it into the jar on top of them. So let's get started. So for this process, I want to work with a really hot, sterile environment. So this is a nice hot jar. We're going to put our apples into it and then we're going to go from there. Okay, so we have all 7 quarts filled with apples, and now we move on to our filling. So that's the ooey gooey part of the pie, and we're gonna make that on the stove right now. So now you will see I am adding 4.5 cups of cane sugar to my pot. And now I am going to also add 9.5 cups of water. We're just going to give that a stir and get everything incorporated really nicely before we add the rest of our ingredients. Here I am adding a 1/4 cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice that helps to preserve the acidity in the recipe. And then this here is organic tapioca flour. This powder is really fine and kind of goes all over the place. You have to be careful with it. Tapioca flour is a thickening agent. You can use whatever works best for you. As you can see, I just added some cinnamon to our recipe here, and I've got some nutmeg that I'm grinding from fresh nutmegs. They give the best flavor. The spices don't affect the canning recipe. You can add as much or as little as you like. I'm adding pumpkin spice here too. That does repeat a little bit of the flavors, but it also gives it a nice little touch of fall. So now we want to just give it a nice overall stir and keep it from burning. You want to make sure you're scraping the bottom. Oh, and last but not least, a teaspoon of salt. And this is what your mixture should look like as it thickens up. Our apple pie filling has come to a boil and it has thickened up quite nicely. So now we are ready to ladle it into our 7-quart jars. Okay, so the last jar has been filled. We have used our little spatula to make sure we're getting all the air bubbles out, and then we topped off each. We have a 1/2 inch headspace, and now we are ready to wipe off the rims. This is an important part of the process so that you can make sure you get a good seal. I use vinegar and just a paper towel, and I go along the edge of the glass. And I just make sure that I've gotten anything off of there that might be sticky. Just do a nice wipe down. And the last step is to take our lids that I have pre-warmed in a saucepan to sterilize. And then we just drop them on the top. We'll take our bands, and you just want to put them on finger tight. So I'll show you what that looks like. Finger tight means that you're just using your fingers to tighten it. You're not taking your whole hand and tightening it like that. It's just basically the tips of your fingers, making sure it's snug but not too snug. Okay, we are almost done. I'm going to take all of these over to the water bath canner and lower them in. Lower this into our water bath, and after I get all 7 in, I will fill this up just a little bit so that it's covered at least an inch, and we're going to let this process for 25 minutes at a rolling boil. Oh my goodness. Whew. That was a lot of work, but it was totally worth it. I hope you guys try this recipe at home. I am really excited to have these throughout the year. This is fresh apples from our orchard, but even if you don't have an orchard and you're just getting fresh apples from the store in their peak of ripeness, you can do this too, and your family is going to absolutely love you for it. I promise you. So give it a try. Let me know down in the comments how it works for you. Let me know what else you'd like to see too. I am rocking and rolling when it comes to canning every day. We get our homeschool work done, and then it's to the kitchen to start processing some of this food. I absolutely love it, and I love that we're learning old tricks from the past and preserving those skills and techniques for the future. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my show. I really appreciate it, and I hope you share me with a friend. Thank you so much, friends. I hope you have a great week this week, and I hope you enjoy trying some of these recipes. I will see you again soon. Bye.